Okay, cool. So our event is actually happening. Now we're not using the event at all. We're not tapping into it to adjust the output. So that's what we want to do next. I'm going to jump back to our resource pack directory, and we're going to add this adjustment by adding an event in the get subscribed events section inside of our blind date subscriber.php file. So let's open up the 22nd step called adding a subscriber to our new event. And let's compare this with the existing blind date subscriber. I'm just going to compare against the clipboard inside of PHP Storm. Let's scroll down here. Okay, so down here in our get subscribed events, we have a new event. The name of it is blinddate.notableEvent. This is the one that we registered if we go back to our code inside of our blind date controller. Right here, we called it blinddate.notableEvent. I'm going to go back to the file comparison. And then we're passing it an array, which again just includes the method name that we're going to call inside of this class when this event gets triggered. So it's onNotableEvent. And so up here is our new method, onNotableEvent. It's expecting a variable called generic_event here. Now we could have known this by copying and pasting from an existing subscriber to a generic_event class. But we also could have just skipped this type hint and seen if there were any errors, and if there were, it would tell us that it was expecting a generic event. We can play with that in just a minute. So since we have the generic event here, we're going to use the setArgument method. Now we already looked at generic event and saw that this was there, and it seemed like the right place to adjust one of those arguments. And we're going to adjust the string argument, and we're going to replace it with updated string. So we should be able to see that text shift. So the one thing that we had to add up here was an alias to generic event inside the event dispatcher component. And of course, we would have gotten a pretty clear error if we didn't have this use statement up here. So it's not something that's particularly tricky about this code. So this use statement is something that can kind of come afterwards as you're sort of troubleshooting your code. Okay, I'm going to exit out of this comparison, and I'm going to copy the code inside of the 22nd step for blind date subscriber. And I'm going to paste it into the blinddate_subscriber.php file and save it. All right, now if we jump back to our browser and refresh, check it out. It says updated string here at the end. So this means that we're tapping into our event to adjust that string, and we're also exposing it to all of the other Drupal modules as well.